Alright, so coming here, the 70 Wildcat, we have this rear window. Even though this is an Arizona car, you know, sand and dirt get in here and just sit. And this is what you end up with, guys. So, so I'm gonna be coming in here, cleaning all of this up. Now the other side over there, mostly all of that looks good on the 70 hardtop, but I'm still going to be cleaning that up and see if I get any holes over there, and if I do, I'll be patching all of that up. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to start off here by trying to clean some of this rust up. And as always, I like to wet it down. I'm using a metal prep. It don't sound like my air compressor is on, but I know it is. Alright, so what I'm looking at so far is that I know I want to cut out from here to here if I'm in the camera. So I'm going to come up here and just see how deep most of this stuff is. Alright, so I'm going to put my trusty mask on here and now that I got this piece cut out, it's a little bigger than what I need it to be, but that's fine. I'm gonna come down and grind this up now. When you're welding, you want it to be clean metal, and if I'll probably spray the back side of this with the copper weld through primer, so just give it all something to stick to. Alright, so I'm gonna come at you here. I'm gonna show you this. Some guys might not approve of my methods, but let me show you this here. Alright, so this inner piece comes around, and it's a piece of metal up under here, and this is the top piece. This is this back deck lid piece, and it's rusted loose. If you see here and then here, it's rusted loose. Alright, see, like up under here, you can see that goes down. It's a dentation right there, and this is the piece up under this piece, and this piece is all one. This is all one piece here. This here is all one piece, and it's a piece up under here. So now this is an Arizona car, but yet and still, this top piece is rusting loose here from sand and just water sitting in here. So what I'm gonna do, guys, now a lot of guys, you know, might not agree, but the bottom piece is there and it's solid because it's an Arizona car. It's still solid. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna weld across this top ridge for this piece here. I'm gonna weld all the way across the top, and then on the bottom half, I'm gonna weld all the way. I'm gonna weld all the way across the bottom here. Okay. And what I'm doing is that I'm welding this off, sealing this off. Then when they seal the window, I ain't got to worry about, because the new stuff they use to seal the windows now is better than the old stuff. So I'm just welding this piece to the bottom piece and welding, you know, so that way I'm not going to have to cut this out in sections and try to bend this back around. So simple weld. If you see here, I already started welding across this top lip, and that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just go all the way across and weld across this top lip, and then I grind this down. In the middle here, it still might be a little lower, but when they put that sealer that they use for the window, it should seal that up. But that's how I'm gonna do this. And what I normally do is use my cutting wheel here to knock these big burrs down. Come through with the grinder here, and I just want to hit all of these. Like I said, I did it with the cutting wheel first, then Alright, so you see how I come through there, and I got the majority of that. Looked like I could put another weld. I just welded this all up, but honestly that'd be good enough in there. Now see what I did here was some of the spots where I took my die grinder and it was some, you know, dip sinkholes there. I just put me some welds on there, and actually right here it busted through. So now I know I'm gonna just cut away from this lip, and I see, you know, it might be weak up under here, but it feels okay. So I'm gonna just cut a little patch, and I'll weld me a little block in there, right there. But the majority of these, when I tacked it, you know, just like filler, you see right here, I'm gonna probably tack right there and just see if it's gonna blow through. But that hole should weld up because it's small. But this is just how I do it. Now, I know the average person say, well, the way I did this, well, the thing is if you had to take this outside piece off, you know, you're going to find out that it ain't going to come loose right here. So, you know, if I figured out that somebody welded this up, because it only supposed to be spot welds in here, and if I was taking this apart, I would figure that out, that this has been solid welded in here. And then I would just try to see where the pop welds pop through at, and then I would cut and cut off and cut around, and then, you know, grind this down to the good metal up under the bottom. But I did it this way, what, 1970, what, this car is like 51 years old, 51 years old. Well, if it lasts this long in Arizona, man, I'd be dead and gone. This still ain't gonna pop back loose. It ain't gonna rust loose here. It might rust loose somewhere else, you know, because one thing about it is that I tell people, you know, that you just, unless you have your car dipped, you ain't gonna know where all the holes are at. You know, like looking at this didn't look that bad, but once I got the grinding on it, and I'm gonna grind all in here too. I'm gonna grind and see if I hit, but I'm looking at it, it looks pretty solid. You know, all up around here, this all looks good. But, you know, until you, like if you dip it, man, you'll find stuff that you like, man, I thought this car was cleaner than that. They ain't never cleaner than that, trust me. You know, so that's just how it is. So this ain't gonna never come loose. I'm gonna cut, you know, hole out here. I got this patchwork to do in here still. I'm gonna cut me a spot out here, and I'm gonna do the same thing for the two holes right in this area. I'm gonna cut this out, weld me a piece of metal in there, but this I just solid weld it and flatten it out. Ain't gonna never have to worry about that again. It took me about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to just do this one piece. But hey, you know, because I put 3 different beads of welds on there to make sure that I got it all welded up and flushed out. I could have just welded the top and the bottom like I was saying before, but I wanted to flatten this out some and just make it look halfway decent, you know. So it's nice and solid now, guys.